Everywhere there's a sprout, that's where they'll produce a vine.
Ed Weinbarger is a farmer and a chef with family ties to this North Carolina land dating back 200 years. Everywhere you look, key staples for his catering business. A hillside garlic patch. Tree limbs stacked along the stream.
Look at that.
A brilliant nursery for shiitake mushrooms.
I got to the gym this morning, but this is good.
A visitor put to work. Early spring, the best time to borrow the fingerling potatoes. The fall harvest will be not long before the midterm election, and North Carolina has a Senate seat within reach for the Democrats, plus maybe, just maybe, a House seat or two. But Weinbarger sees the party as still missing a critical ingredient.
This right here, getting it under your fingernails, Democrats have a hard time with this. They can't show a connection to the working class.
Rural America is synonymous with Trump country. But Weinbarger says Trump policies are making a tough economy worse. First tariffs, now Iran.
Everything's expensive. Inflation hasn't stopped. It's continuing. For supplies and now for fuel. Now we're at war. Transportation costs, fuel, machinery, equipment, labor, amendments, fertilizers, all more expensive.
North Carolina's success could help the Democrats make a good midterm year great, but it would require reversing 5 decades of rural decline. Take a look. Here are 1,322 counties where at least 75% of the population live in rural areas. 50 years ago, 1976, Jimmy Carter carried 798 of the 1,322. See all that blue? And won 54% of the vote in them. In 2000, though, Al Gore carried only 213 of the 1,322. His share of the vote in rural counties dropped to 37%. And in 2024, a rural red tsunami. Kamala Harris won just 79 of the 1,322 counties, and just 25% of their votes. The then and now is stunning.
Here in North Carolina, that rural shift from blue to red looks like this. It's been 11 years since North Carolina was represented by a Democrat in the U.S. Senate. And the state's House delegation in Washington, right now, just 4 Democrats and 10 Republicans.
There's a lot of anger with the voting base. And America has traditionally gone after the angry candidate. They feel represented by that anger. Democrats need to do more to connect to rural America.
Again, be skeptical. But even a modest rural rebound for the Democrats would greatly expand their map, their targets, the possibilities in this critical midterm year. House races here in North Carolina, for example, and in places like Texas, Montana, Iowa, and elsewhere. And the party is hoping to find Senate pickups, U.S. Senate pickups. Where would they look? Texas, Ohio, Alaska, Montana, Iowa, and right here in North Carolina.
Marshall is along the French Broad River in North Carolina's 11th congressional district. Hurricane Helene's floodwaters rose above this bridge and pummeled the town. 18 months later, yes, a lot of progress. This was the American Legion post during our visit 9 months ago, rebuilt with a patriotic new mural now. Sounds and signs of progress, but also lingering scars, lingering frustration.
It still feels slow. It still feels like we haven't seen the government step in ways that are meaningful.
Tourism is the economy here.
Right.
Lean back, you're good to go.
See ya.
Corey Hampton's outdoor adventure company saw sales drop 40% last summer.
Clear for guide.
Hikers and campers, rafters and zipliners thought it best, or safest, to stay away.
We all knew that first season after the storm was going to be difficult, but we're hoping that this is the turning point for us.
But now, a new worry.
That folks are just not going to be as willing to travel. And on top of everything else that's happened to us.
You drive a lot if you live in a rural place like Marshall, or if you want to get to and from a place like this for a family vacation. The price of gas matters, especially if things are already tight.
It's just terrifying, you know. We're helping 100 of our staff put food on the table, and even they're thinking about, can I afford a house? Can I afford health care? Can I get to work? I mean, that's going to make it even harder for us this season.
They say looks can be deceiving, and they say one picture is worth 1,000 words. So which is this? A recent Monday night in Tiny Marshall, a packed fish fry for a local farmer running for Congress. Madison County voted 61% for Trump. Jamie Yeager is a Democrat.
We're all thinking about our garden this spring, which is something that Mountain Democrats do, is grow a garden.
Josh Kopis owns this hotel and restaurant. He went to college with Yeager, works his real magic in a ceramic studio on the outskirts of town.
So why do Democrats struggle so much here?
I think we lost our way. I don't know. Like, we got caught up doing something that didn't connect with the people in rural America, and that's why we need to run candidates like Jamie, because he is of this place. Like, he is our people. So I don't think it's a lost cause.
The smart money and recent history says be skeptical when Democrats talk up their hopes here in North Carolina, especially in this congressional district. Donald Trump won North Carolina 11 with 54% of the vote in 2024. And the Republican House incumbent, Chuck Edwards, ran even stronger, winning 57%.
But pain at the pump is just one sign of tougher times for Republicans. Even in these rural areas they have dominated in the decade of Trump.
I get it. You know, I know why people, like, voted for Trump around here, because, you know, everyone feels like it's stacked against them, but that hasn't changed. Like, that, I don't think any of those people are like, oh, we're doing better now than we were, because we're not.
18 months of struggle and remarkable resilience. 7 months more until we learn if all the rebuilding here extends to the Democrats.
John, you were in North Carolina. What did the results in Georgia last night say about voters in rural areas?
So, Anderson, once again, the margins, Democrats lost that race. You see right here, Clayton Fuller will be the next Republican congressman in Marjorie Taylor Greene's old district. So Republicans say, we win. Why do Democrats say this is good for them? Well, look at the margin. You say that's a big race, right? He wins there by 11 points, but look at this. Marjorie Taylor Greene won this district just 2 years ago by 29 points. And this is part of a pattern in Georgia, in New Jersey, everywhere in 2025 and 2026 as we watch elections. Last night in a Wisconsin State Supreme Court race as well, a mayoral race in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Here's just a few of them. Kamala Harris wins Virginia by 6 points. Remember, Abigail Spanberger wins the governor's race by 16. In New Jersey, it was Harris 6. Mikey Sherrill wins by 14. In a Tennessee special election, yes, the Republican won, but the previous Republican had won by more than twice that. In Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, as I said, she had won by nearly 30. The new Republican wins by 12. So what that tells Democrats, not just in rural America, but in a lot of places where they lost last time by 6 points, 8 points, 10 points, maybe even 12 points. What 6 months ago would have been impossible, 3 months ago was improbable. Now, especially in these rural areas, because of the rising gas prices, becomes possible. So Democrats have more opportunities. Doesn't mean they're going to win places like North Carolina 11. Doesn't mean they're going to win in Tennessee. Doesn't mean they're going to win in Iowa. But places where 6 months or a year ago they thought impossible, now they think maybe.